One of the challenges that I give kids is 3 rail squats. You can squat on a rail. That shows that you have an understanding of what it takes to be able to balance on a rail. The idea behind the balancing is that if you're jumping to a rail at height and you cannot balance on top of it, that's not going to end well. So with practicing balance, it's setting up being able to land and stick a rail precision. When balancing, any movement I make beneath my center of gravity, which is my hips, takes a smaller movement to make a bigger change. Any movement I make from my hips and above takes a bigger movement to make a smaller change. So as I'm balancing, it shouldn't look like I'm moving much. I'm moving in my toes, my ankles, and my knees. Again, I'm not moving much. My arms are to the side to help balance. I'm focusing on something forward, but my focus is in my toes, ankles, and especially my knees. I want to think about being in one plane. I don't want to rotate, I don't want to flex and extend, and I don't want to side bend. I kind of want to be in this plane here where I'm just, so my chest shouldn't be moving forward or backwards. So as I'm balancing, I'm thinking about moving my knees forward and backwards. If my chest starts to move forward, I move my knees forward to bring my chest back upright. If I start to fall back, I move my knees back to bring my chest upright. I don't want to think about moving in my hips. Again, that's a bigger movement that makes a smaller change, which creates a lot of movement, which can throw me off. Again, I'm just thinking about being soft in my knees, light in my ankles and toes. The sideways balance is utilized for when you're walking on a rail. It's a 1-foot balance to a 1-foot balance. The 1-foot balance is the easiest way to balance on a rail. So if you break it down to its simplest form, and instead of thinking about walking across, you just think about a 1-foot balance to another 1-foot balance. Now the 1 foot is easier because now I have 3 points to balance from. I have my 2 hands and my 1 foot that can help counterbalance. I'm still focusing on knee and toes, less ankle. The ankle's more solid with this, but again, having that nice soft knee, preventing the force from coming up into my hips. My knee is like a shock absorber that eliminates that force before it gets into my hips and can really throw me off. All my weight's in 1 foot, I shift to all my weight in the other foot. I don't want to spend a lot of time with weight in both feet because this again is a harder way to balance because I'm on 2 feet. At any point in time while walking across the rail, if someone tells me to stop, I should be able to stop and be in control and regain my control. If I have my foot straight, my body is straight. As soon as I turn my feet, I start to turn my body, which can cause me to be off on the rail. Right now, we're just walking on it, and again, pulling it back to its easiest, simplest form, which is a 1-foot balance to a 1-foot balance. Making sure to maintain that upright, high chest, staying in that one plane. I don't want to be looking down here, which can throw me off. I'm nice and tall, soft knee, making my way across. Again, it's a 1-foot balance. So ultimately, I can do a 1-foot balance backwards. I know where the rail is because I know where my foot is. I just place my other foot next to my other foot and then put all my weight into it. 1-foot balance, 1-foot balance. Nice and controlled. You can squat on a rail. That shows that you have an understanding of what it takes to be able to balance on a rail, specifically within that movement within the knees. Now, when we squat, our chest is up, we sit back. Same idea on a rail. We don't want to get on the rail and then bend on our hips to touch and then come back up, right? We want to think about keeping our chest up. As I lower, I have to move my knees backwards and forwards to keep that chest straight up. Having the understanding of what movement my knees need to make so that I can go into that squat is really beneficial from knowing how to land, stick, and balance on a rail.